Hello and good morning, everyone. I am sorry that I am running a little bit late. I was up super late. Well, I guess not. I guess I got up super early yesterday, and so I did not sleep nearly as much as I should have. So I had a little bit of sleep debt to get rid of, which we finally did. So I am here now, and we will play a little bit of Borderlands. Today is probably the last day of playing Borderlands for a little bit because we got a bunch of new games coming out next month that we are going to be playing a whole bunch of. So we're probably going to move on to some other games here soon, but I figured one more day of Borderlands is my chance to maybe hit max level finally. We're level 46. We're almost there, so we'll do that. They announced the next hero already is going to be a robotic gambler named Cash, who has some sort of like card throwing, gambling sort of mechanics. So we'll come back probably for the next hero, maybe level up another one. I am struggling to get through the game. I never thought I would be struggling to get through the game, but there's definitely some frustrations in the game that are still piling up. So I'm hoping that if we take a break for a little bit and go do some other things, when we come back, a few of those frustrations will have been fixed. So we've got Final Fantasy, the new Chronicles will be coming out next month. No, tomorrow. Tomorrow the new Final Fantasy comes out. Once we've got the new Final Fantasy out, we've got the next WoW. They've got a big patch for World of Warcraft coming out next month as well. So we've got that. We've got, of course, Pokemon Legends ZA is coming out next month, which will be huge. We have Ghosts of Yotai coming out. So we've got huge games. October is going to be an absolutely amazingly huge game for month for games. So we're going to be playing all of those most definitely. And then there's one more game. I keep thinking there's one more game coming out this year that I really want to play, and I can't think of it. Pokemon Legends ZA is kind of the big one, right? Like that is the game we have been all waiting for all year long. I don't want to call it game of the year because it's a Pokemon game, so you know that they're gonna do some lazy stuff with that one. I doubt that it's actually going to be a groundbreaking game of the year, but I'm excited to see what they can do with the new Pokemon Legends ZA. The open combat seems interesting. It seems like they're going to be putting a little bit of love and work into it, so we're going to give it some hope. That is it for my games for the year. I think I'm going to spend a lot of money on games this month, and then nothing for a while. Hopefully that's it for having to buy games for a little bit. So we did finish up Mafia yesterday, the old country, and I put up a review on my channel. I'm kind of sad I didn't play Mafia on stream. Like, it was a much more Catholic game than I thought it would be, but it also, like, it was a 10-hour story game, and I got a little bit tired of it after like 4 or 5 hours. It was very repetitive. So, I'm not super disappointed we didn't stream it, but there was definitely some conversations that we could have had while we were playing it that were super interesting about like the prayers that they did in the game and the ways that they interacted with Catholicism and the fathers and the world. So it was really cool to see a game where they had Catholicism prominent and it wasn't just, look, Catholic bad, the Catholic Church is evil, because that gets old pretty fast. The oh wow, they're including the Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church is so evil. Uh, every JRPG is really guilty of that. What game? We're talking about Mafia: The Old Country. Had a lot of Catholicism in it, but it wasn't necessarily just to be like JRPGs. Like I said, they're like the most like guilty of this, where every story in like half the JRPGs is, oh wow, there's this big evil government church, and it looks like the Catholic Church, but we're just going to call it the church, and they're really the wrong and evil ones who are oppressing everyone, and the final boss is to kill God because God is the one who's running that church. Like, that's such a common JRPG trope that I'm sick of. I don't want to see that trope anymore. I'm so tired of that one. All right, we completed that quest. We got one more bounty down here, and then we gotta, in order to unlock the next level in Borderlands 4, the next true Vault Hunter, we have to go take down a guy in a mission. So we're gonna go repeat a mission once we're done here. But we need to take out some Rippers first. But on the topic of JRPGs, tomorrow the Ilvis Chronicles comes out for Final Fantasy Tactics, and that is going to be hopefully such a good and faithful remake. I remember playing Final Fantasy Tactics for hours upon hours upon hours because there's so many different ways you can build characters up. There's so many different ways you can explore the game. Like I am excited for that. So hopefully the remake is faithful and good, and I can't wait to experience it. Alright, we just gotta take out 10 of these guys, and that should give us a treasure chest. There it is, 10 Rippers gone. Explode everything with a little bit of radiation here and there. Everything loves a little bit of radiation. Speaking of radiation, I was getting an ad. It was making me laugh. Facebook ads are ridiculous, but they're trying to sell a Good morning, Bubble. I got an ad where they're trying to sell a what do you call that that thing that they use in all the horror movies that like clicks, Geiger counter. They're trying to sell a Geiger counter, and the way that the ad was trying to sell it was like, wow, look at this really fun game. Turn the whole world into a game by searching for radiation with our Geiger counter. I was like, okay, so is it actually like a game? Like, are you selling just straight up a Geiger counter? And they're selling a $400 Geiger counter with the promise that this is the world's funnest scavenger hunt game that you can play anywhere by going just anywhere in the world and finding places where there is radiation. I was like, that doesn't sound like a very fun game, you know? Like, yay, we're dying. We're standing in a place that's poisoning us. Like that sounds like the world's worst game. It's your responsibility to buy and report back. I am trying so hard to be good about spending money, because Emmy and I know we've talked about this nonstop, but Emmy and I have talked so much about going to Italy next year that we really, really, really want to make it happen. So I'm trying to be good and not spend frivolous money. But there's a camera that's calling my name to spend frivolous money on, so we've got that. And Halloween, there's always more costumes I want to buy because I love like wearing masks for stream and having those. So I'm trying really hard not to spend money. But today should be payday, and you know, the millennial urge to say, oh well, you know, we made it to payday, so I deserve a little treat. It doesn't hurt to spend $50 or $100 or $200 on a little treat, right? Like that little treat will get you every time. Went to Spirit Halloween with the kiddo yesterday, and he wants to be a monster truck. You know, it's not a bad idea. I kind of dig that. I remember one year for Halloween, I really wanted to be a vending machine. So we cut out a cardboard box for me to stand in, and drew little like candy and a coin slot for quarters in it. So, you know, monster truck, vending machine, same vibes. I'm down for it. I dig it. I think that's awesome. We have not gone to Spirit Halloween yet. I don't know if it's just a getting old sort of thing, but every time we go into Spirit Halloween now, it looks like it all looks like it's just overpriced garbage. Like, beer, hello. Good morning. So I don't know if I'm just getting to be a crotchety old man, but every time I go into Spirit Halloween now, I'm just like, this is just garbage. This is just overpriced, expensive garbage that's gonna break in 30 seconds. So we still go through there to like see what they've got, because it's always fun to see like what the new hot Halloween trends are and some of the funny costumes. But I don't think I'm going to be buying anything from Spirit Halloween probably ever again. Especially since we talk about like I'm downsizing my life from all the garbage and landfill stuff, you know? Imagine if I had a working level or something and stand outside for other trick-or-treaters. Ooh, that dude is huge. Okay. Okay. He wants to play. Let's fight the giant savage. It's man versus beast over here whipping him. Which I got to oh, I'm out of tissues. That's a bummer. I got to explain that to Emmy. Fun fact for all of y'all who didn't know this. In the original Pokemon games, when you look at like the sprite art for Team Rocket especially, a lot of the trainers in the original Pokemon games are holding whips. Good morning, Lickbeer. How's it going? And originally, the Pokemon Company had Pokemon be a lot darker, and Team Rocket would actually use whips that would allow them to whip their Pokemon to deal like more damage or to listen to them more. And so it was a lot darker that Team Rocket was actually like out there straight up abusing Pokemon, like whipping them left and right for things. And that's where like the dark typing came from. The original, like the first expansion for Pokemon cards was the Jungle expansion, I think. But after the Jungle expansion came the Team Rocket expansion. And the Team Rocket expansion was full of like the dark type Pokemon. It was the first time they introduced dark types. And it was literally that they just like abused their Pokemon so much that they had less health than other Pokemon, but they did way more damage, and that was like the trade-off for the dark type before they actually made, okay, let's make dark type a little less dark and not make it abused Pokemon, but make it like an actual like typing. So Pokemon used to have some darkness to it, and like the Poke War, that there's so many men missing because the Poke War was ongoing in the background, and like Lieutenant Surge and his PTSD, like there used to be some pretty dark, grim stuff in those games. Speaking of dark and grim, so I got invited to a Dungeons and Dragons game. And I had to make a character, and we're playing in the world of Legend of Adventures made a sub-game called The Crooked Moon, which is in kind of like a grim-dark, dreary, plague-ridden kind of area. And I had to make a new character for it. And so a bunch of the races and classes that I wanted to choose were taken, which was a bummer. So my character is a living puppet who is a cross between Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! And Jigsaw from Saw. So that is my character for Dungeons and Dragons. So I can't wait to see how that works out to play. So we'll see how my little bit of dark evil character does here. See, that gun is not working. Let's see. We have to blow the crystals off this guy, but he is flying, so that is going to be a tough shot. But this gun seems to be working, so I'm very excited. We did our session 0 yesterday, so next week we get to actually play the game and see how well my Jigsaw Yugi character works for sending people to the Shadow Realm. All right. I hate fighting flying creatures. I can't hit any of these guys there. Oh, I barely managed to hit one. Good luck. It'll be interesting. The character I wanted to play was a gargoyle. They have a gargoyle race, and I really love gargoyles probably because of the original Gargoyles show it's now owned by Disney, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't originally owned by Disney. I don't know who originally made Gargoyles, but with Goliath and Hudson and the dog, I can never remember his name, but I loved that old Gargoyle show a whole lot. Ever since then, I've always wanted to play as Gargoyles, so I'm really sad that someone else was like, hey, I really want to play this character, because yes, you can play the same class and race in D&D, but I always avoid it because it seems like stepping on the spot. Someone spend some time to handcraft a character who's a gargoyle paladin, which is why I wanted to play. Oh wow, your character's so unique. I too am going to make a gargoyle paladin, and then we'll have the same abilities and the same skills, and we'll just steal the spotlight from each other. It just feels bad. So whenever someone says I'm going to play this, I try and avoid playing that same thing because it just feels like it steals the spotlight too much. Even though you can have different backstories and you can play the characters differently, at its core, the characters are going to have some similarities no matter what. So it just feels respectful to not make the same character, Alright. We took down the Vile Bounty, and we got... What did we get for it? We got a garbage shield. Wow, that was not worth it. Okay, we need to look up... let's see. So we need to replay a mission so we can unlock the next difficulty mode. We need to replay... to kill the bio bulkhead. Which mission do I need to do that? Jonathan's here. Good morning, Jonathan. How are you doing today? Okay, so... okay. We are looking for... His entrance is up... he's at a base that we need to find. I think he's up here. Yeah, okay. So we need to go take down this boss, and that will unlock the next level of difficulty that will give us better guns. I'm doing a little bit better, I suppose. My tooth still feels a bit weird and hurts when I put pressure on it, but I'll get fixed tomorrow at the dentist. How are you doing? I am doing good today. I slept in just a little bit today because I got up way too early. I woke up at 3 a.m. yesterday, and like I tell Dex, when I wake up, that's it. As soon as I wake up, I am awake. So I had a little bit of sleep debt this morning, so I slept in a little bit. But today is hopefully payday, so it should be a very good and fun day to go out and do some stuff. I did not mean to teleport. Did that just ruin? No, it didn't. Okay. So yeah, today is payday. Today's going to be a fun day. Today is also the Feast of the Archangels. Today is a very special day for me because my patron saint is the Archangel Raphael, and today is the day that we celebrate his special day, also with Saint Michael and Saint Michael the Archangel and Saint Gabriel the Archangel. So today is a special feast day for my angels and my patron saint, and it's also the end of my 40-day fast. So today is a very special day. not going to do too much to celebrate because I got to go to work because I've been saving my PTO for some other things. So unfortunately, I still have to go to work, but we're going to celebrate by going to a good restaurant tonight and having a feast in honor of the angels and the end of my fast. So I am very hyped for that. Ooh, another legendary, two legendaries and vending machines. I can't believe that's like some super luck here. What do we got here? Passively regenerate health over time, increase the rate in which. That looks really good. Let's buy that. Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. The Feast of the Archangels is a big one for me because, like I said, my patron saint is an archangel, so that is a really big deal for me. So it's a time to end my fast, a time to think about all the good things that God blesses with us, and have a feast in celebration. So today is also the official weigh-in. I officially lost 17 pounds as a part of this fast, so not quite the goal. I wanted to hit 20, but, you know, I can live with 17 is a pretty good number for the amount of weight I lost. So today is a great day. I'll also be putting up, if you didn't know, that I also am affiliated with a group called Catholic Game Reviews. And I make content for them. So over on their channel, I have a running series of What If the Saints Had Pokemon, in which we ask the question, what if we made special Pokemon teams for different saints? So today we're releasing the final in our series for the Archangels. So that will be out this morning for people to enjoy as well. So I probably will have to write a review for them as well for Mafia of the Old Country, considering how much Catholicism is in that game. But right now I'm working on a video for them for Umamuse, the horse racing game that has taken the world by absolute storm. If you're not horse racing on your phone with anime horse girls, what are you doing? Okay, here's the boss. So we need to take this guy down. If I remember right, he is pretty tough. So this might be a hard boss. Let's swap. Actually, Corrosive, I think he's all armor. So Corrosive might be the way to go for this guy. Yeah, he's all armor. So I remember this boss being a huge pain in the butt. And we start by missing with a horrible miss. Holy cow, it was abysmal. Shields up. Let's whip him a little bit. Okay, that's a good first opening move we did right there. Got some good damage on him. I didn't have a corrosive weapon last time I fought him, so he was a lot harder. This is a lot easier now that I actually have the proper tools for it. Imagine that, when you get better at the game, it gets easier. Okay, almost there. We haven't made a mistake yet. I'm going to jinx myself by saying we haven't made a mistake yet. So, you know, always got to make it harder on ourselves by pointing out when we're doing too good. All right, that wasn't too bad. We got through it. You're gonna play LSA again, like play through it again. You beat it last night, right? So you don't have any reason to play through it again. Lost Souls aside, it is a anime style, not Souls like game. Ooh, this is a pretty good flaming shotgun with energy blast mode. What does energy blast mode do? You unlock difficulties? I mean, Here's the thing. Most games get difficulties wrong because 90% of games that have difficulty sliders, and like Borderlands is like the most obnoxious with this, but like a lot of times when there's a difficulty slider, like, oh wow, play on hard mode where all the enemies have 30% more health and do 40% more damage, and like that's not difficulty. That's just tedium. That's artificially inflating the difficulty of the game by throwing up these just, and like Call of Duty, the old Call of Duties, if you played like the old school original Call of Duty campaigns, like that's all, if you played on hard mode, all it did was make them spam grenades to instantly kill you. Like that was the hard mode was oh look, all these guys are just going to throw grenades at you until you blow up and there's nothing you can do about it. Like that's not a hard mode, that's a tedious mode. Saw a con booth of Elmer's glue, but the labels were the Horse Girl characters with low placement. I would probably buy one of those. That would probably get me. Alright, so we finally unlocked the wild card mission. So if we beat this wild card mission, we get to unlock the heavy difficulty with more enemies and better guns and all that. The problem with this, and this was the huge flaw that Borderlands didn't anticipate. So the wildcard mission is you replay old missions, cool, with more difficulty and new modifiers. Love it. However, they left in all the videos and the talking. So like I've already played these missions. Why do I want to sit here and listen to these characters talk about something I've already heard before? Like, it should just do the mission, or they should have chose missions that had no excessive talking and objectives and things like that. Like, the game's writing is not that good that you want to listen to it again. That's why everyone's skipping making their characters at level 1, and they're just skipping right to the end game because the writing is not good enough to support playing the game through a second time, third time, fourth time. And I don't think they realize that. So I like the idea of being able to go back and play missions. I just wish it let you skip like this. Like, why do I want to sit here and listen to Rush yap for 10 minutes when I've already heard this before? I don't care. Just let me move on with the mission. Just send me to where I need to go. I'm classic murder hobo here. Send me to the guys I need to blow up. And let me do my work. Alright, let's see. Fire Energy Blast. Okay, it's like a short range shotgun, shotgun-y kind of blast. Not great, not bad. See if we can light some people on fire. Okay, this shotgun's pretty good. Skipping cutscenes should be in every game. It should. Worse than skipping cutscenes, worse than the option of skipping cutscenes, though, is back in the day before we all decided on like a universal, when you press start, it pauses the game even during a cutscene. Back in like the PlayStation 1 era, there were some like JRPGs where you would hit start to pause the cutscene because, you know, mom came in or something, you need to go do something, and that would skip the cutscene. And you're like 50 hours into a JRPG and YouTube doesn't exist at this point, so you have two options, which is either just live with never seeing that cutscene or restart the game to try and see that cutscene. That was horribly frustrating. So I want to be able to skip cutscenes, but also being able to pause cutscenes is an absolute must. You look so zesty. I'll take that as a compliment. I have been working on looking more zesty as I've been losing weight. Looking more alive and healthy and happy. I was talking to Emmy yesterday. So back when I weighed 400 pounds, we had a friend who was also on a weight loss journey. And we agreed that when we lost our goal weight, when we finally got to our goal weights, one of the things we were going to do was we were gonna go up and down the main street of our town and stop at every fast food restaurant and order the best thing off of the menu and have like a big celebratory meal to celebrate losing. In my case, it would be the 220 pounds, give or take. So I'm almost there. Like in 30 or 40 more pounds, I will have lost all the weight and I'll finally get to do that. The thing is, one, I'm vegetarian now, so it doesn't sound nearly as good. But two, like, it would just be a huge waste of food. There's no way I could eat that much food anymore. So I don't think I'm gonna get to do it. But it sounded fun when we made the pact to do it. It sounded like a lot of fun. Like you stop and get McDonald's, get the McDonald's fries because McDonald's fries are the absolute best, right? And then you stop at Wendy's and you get the Wendy's burgers because Wendy's makes the best fast food burger, period. And then you stop at like Taco Time and you get some tacos, and you just go all the way down and you just get one item from each place, and at the end of it you have like the ultimate meal made of all the best things from all the fast food restaurants. And I don't think I'm actually going to do that, but it was exciting to think like, hey, I've actually made so much progress that this goal is finally within reach. I do stand by, though, Wendy's makes the best burgers, and I'll fight anyone on that. Wendy's hamburgers are the best fast food burger, unless you count chicken, in which case Chick-fil-A makes the best chicken burgers. But chicken burger and real burger are two vastly different things, you know? So can't what? Can't agree that Wendy's is the best burger? Because you are missing out if you're not enjoying a good Wendy's burger. Wendy's also has the superior breakfast option. The only breakfast option that is better than Wendy's is Taco Bell. Taco Bell breakfast is one of the best ways to start your day. It's the right amount of greasy and fibrous to get your gut in shape for the day. I can't eat at Wendy's. I work there too long. I can understand that. A little bit too much trauma to go with your burger. I don't think we have Wendy's in Sweden. I would probably hazard to guess no, that Wendy's doesn't exist in Sweden. That's probably accurate. Grilled in Australia has great burgers. Someday I will make it to Australia and I will get to try that. Australia is on my list of places I want to visit someday, so I do really want to see Australia. Here's the thing though, and maybe I'm wrong for this, but people talk a lot about like when you go to Japan, you got to try the KFC and the McDonald's in Japan. Like, but if I'm spending all the money and time and effort to travel to another country, like, why would I want to eat at the fast food places, right? Like, I want to experience all the culture and restaurants and good things I can. So I can't imagine that if I made the effort to travel all the way to Australia, that I would be eating at like a fast food McDonald's, you know? And maybe Bubble's probably the expert on this one, since Bubble goes to Australia. Do you ever find yourself eating it fast? Like, does the magic wear off? Do you eventually just like, oh man, I'm so tired of eating this authentic Australian shrimps on the Barbie, and now I'm just gonna eat McDonald's. I wouldn't survive the heat in Australia. I put all my points in cold resistance. Yeah, Australia heat is definitely something else I have heard. I know they have different foods, but like it feels like a waste to pay $2,000 for a plane ticket and a couple $1,000 for a hotel just to eat at McDonald's in Australia. Just it feels like a waste. We don't eat shrimp. We have prawns. We we don't eat either of those here because shrimps and prawns are the bugs of the sea. If you enjoy seafood, then you are in basically if you eat shrimp, then you should have no problem eating like tarantulas. They're the same thing. They're the same exact thing. The only reason why people eat shrimp is because they've been told that it's delicious and spiders are bad. Best burgers are the ones with peanut butter. I agree. There is a place near us called Killer Burger that does a peanut butter bacon pickle burger, and it is pretty incredible. I also shared with most of you my ultimate breakfast food that I discovered yesterday that I'm going to try. I got a coffee frother that allows me to make my instant coffee into a whipped coffee, so it's like a solid whipped thing. So I think if I put whipped coffee on top of some sugar-free pudding with some oats in it, and a little bit of protein and fiber powder, I might have a low-calorie ultimate breakfast experience. So I'm very excited to try making the ultimate breakfast experience. Because, like, it has everything in it. It's got protein to keep you full. It's got fiber to help you poop. It's got caffeine in it from the coffee. And then it's got the flavor of the sugar-free pudding. Like, it seems like, in theory, it will be the most perfect breakfast food of all time. In practice, it probably won't be the best food of all time. But we got to make it once and try it, right? That's what we're all about here, is trying the food. We got to try it at least once and see, is it that good? Is it that bad? Boom! Headshot. Give me schnitzel all day. I posted that clip we were talking about the other day from Germany, where we were talking about, like, I want to go to Germany, but I don't drink beer and I don't eat brats. So, like, that's not all that Germany is known for, but it feels like a waste to go to Germany and not enjoy those. And other people were saying that Germany actually has a lot of vegetarian and vegan options. So I'm really, really excited to see what that looks like. Because Germany, if you've never seen it before, Google the Cologne. Cologne is the city. Google the Cologne Cathedral in Germany. And that is the most hauntingly beautiful church I have ever seen in my life. If you've never seen the Cologne Cathedral, take a moment to Google that. And I want to go see that someday. It is just absolutely gorgeous. I hate when these guys are vampiric because they heal up so fast on the higher levels because they deal so much damage. There's so many places in the world I want. I want to see Scandinavia. I want to see Germany. I want to see Japan. I want to see Italy. I just don't have the money to go visit all these places and see all these amazing things. I think it would honestly be easier to name places I don't want to visit and see. Like Egypt, like, I've heard that the pyramids are cool to see in person, but so many people have said, like, the tourism is really, really bad in Egypt, and that it's just not worth going there to deal with all the tourist issues just to see the pyramids. So, like, Egypt is not on my list of the places to see. Too many people. It has that. That's what I've heard. I've heard that it gets really frustrating to deal with, like, pickpockets and people who are out for nefarious reasons, and that it's just not worth it. Like, you can Google a picture of the pyramids, right? So, like, that's what I've heard, that it's not worth it. London is another one that I have, like, no desire to visit. I've heard that visiting London is just an absolute mess, and, like, I don't know if this is true, but they post it online all the time that, like, there's a Tokyo London syndrome where, like, people go to visit London from Tokyo, and it was so disappointing they set up a hotline for depressed tourists to be able to deal with, like, the depression of seeing this place they've dreamed of seeing, and it's not what it lived up to be at all. So, like, I don't know if that's actually true, but I've heard it enough times that I feel like it's true. Just don't have food restrictions. You can go a week, you'll be fine. I mean, that there is merit to that, right? Like, but the the reason I don't eat meat isn't because like I can't eat meat. It's because that I don't support most of the practices that a lot of places use to grow their meat and the way they treat the animals. So like it's a moral thing. So just taking a week off of it because I'm on vacation feels like that my morals are only in effect when I'm at home, and I can put my morals aside when it's convenient for me, and that's not how a moral should be. So like that's why I can't just turn it off on vacation, you know? I never want to see New York or San Francisco. I have been to San Francisco. I would agree San Francisco is probably on the list of overhyped places. Like, yeah, I don't think it's worth like like if you live outside the United States, traveling, spending all your money to go to San Francisco, I don't think would be worth it at all. New York I could see, but yeah, San Francisco no. I think Osaka would be nice, and I have a friend in it, but I forget, not Tokyo. I want to see Tokyo. I know that everyone says Tokyo's overcrowded, it's overhyped, but I want that I want that full experience, right? I want to be lost in downtown Tokyo. I want to be in this huge city that is overwhelming. But I also want to go to the Japanese countrysides and see the countryside too. So I want to do both of those experiences when I finally get to Japan. I think both are valid things to see in Japan. All right, that guy's down. Oh, there's more. New York isn't that bad, but it's not for everyone. It's just crowded. You know, I don't deal well with crowds of people, and that's the problem. Is half the areas I want to visit, obviously they're touristy areas, so there's always going to be people. But that's why I want to go to like the outskirts of Japan, go to like the temples and stuff where there might not be as many people, because crowds and me don't mix anymore. And I will never forgive Wells Fargo, and I will name and shame them every time on this, that the whole reason I have a anxiety and panic disorder is from working at Wells Fargo. So, you know, if I would have left that job earlier, if I would have listened to my gut and did something else with my life, I probably wouldn't have the anxiety and panic disorders that I have now, and I would be able to enjoy going to these places. So thanks for that, Wells Fargo. How's that going to work out when you have millions of followers and want to do meet and greets? You know, I when I think of meet and greets, all I can think of is there was that one lady who had like 2 million followers on TikTok, and so she went to a convention to do a meet and greet, and she made 1 million bracelets so that everyone who came to the meet and greet that she met could have like a personal memento from meeting her. And by the end of the convention, not a single person had ever shown up to see her, and she learned that just because she had followers on TikTok didn't mean they were actually like interested in her as a person or wanted to meet her. They just enjoyed her content, and that was it. And that's what I feel like will happen. That's what Grub. Good morning, Grub. That's what I feel like will keep my ego in check. Is that the second I start to think that people actually want to like meet me and talk to me will be when I go to a convention and I realize that no one actually wants to meet or talk to me in person. They just like my stupid D&D memes, you know? So I am very worried about that becoming a reality for me, because we've seen it happen. That would be exactly. That's why I try and keep the ego in check, right? Like I try not to think I'm all that, or that, you know, having 7,000 followers or 100 people watching me stream actually means anything, because that would be a devastating blow to the ego to realize that no one actually wants to meet you. Thank you, Dex. I appreciate your friendship. Tyler, good morning. Now, Tony Peter was showing me ReachCon, and like, it's a Christian content creator. Christian content creator convention, and that's something like I know I could sign up and go there, but that's one of those things like how many good morning Tyler, how many of y'all would realistically, and I mean like realistically, how many of y'all would fly to Florida to see me in person at ReachCon? Because you're talking like $1,000 ticket to fly to Florida. You're dealing with the Florida heat. That is the fourth legendary we've seen in a vending machine today. Shoot eggs that hatch flying roaches when attached to flesh or living or dead. That sounds gruesome and gross. We're going to play with that. I don't think that's that good. But let's buy the gun that fires living roaches. All right, Tyler, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you. See you when you're back. Let's play with the gun that shoots roach eggs. If I had money, I definitely would. And that's the exact thing is like, I appreciate the sentiment, but we're how many people actually have the money to waste on flying to Florida to see me in person? That is a whole other question to ask. All right. Here's some people. We're going to attach eggs to him. Okay, so it spawns little roaches. I see those. That's kind of underwhelming. Like, they're not really doing a whole lot, really. It's 11 p.m. Mouse. All right, Smiley, thanks for hanging out. Have a great day. Have a good sleep. We'll see you next time. Oh, well, that's not good. Oh, yeah, we're dead. What time is it? We still got half an hour. I'm still deciding what to eat tonight, though. So help me decide what to eat for the Feast of the Archangels. Help me choose a restaurant for tonight. Welcome back, Abyss. I was thinking maybe doing Indian food because I really love Indian food, but also like right next to us is a place called Don Froylan Creamery, and they make their own Oaxacan cheese, and their quesadillas and burritos are simply one of the best foods in the world. It is so good. So that's on the option. There's a Thai food restaurant near us that makes a super spicy food that I absolutely love. So what food should I eat for the Feast of the Archangels? Taking all suggestions. Never go wrong with Indian food, but homemade cheese sounds great. That's the thing, is like I can't say no to the Don Froylan cheese. It is so good. All right, this guy is vampiric and regenerative. That is a problem. Stop regenerating. Having a conversation with some friends. They were like, remember when we were kids and our mom would be like, wait until your father gets home or get to the room? That is something my mom would say, I made you and I can take you out of the world. They look to be concerned. Emmy and I have talked about that a lot with the whole like you can't have one parent be good cop, bad cop, right? Like you gotta have both parents need to be actively a part of punishments and learning and growing. So we never want to do the whole wait till your father gets home because you're going to be in super trouble. But also, like, I feel like there's some things kids eventually will do that's like, okay, I can't I can't decide what to do here. I need to talk to my partner about this to properly find the right punishment for the severity of the way that you messed up. So like that is gonna definitely be a tough one. I definitely don't want to threaten my kids with the whole like, if you don't listen to me, I made you, so I have the right to kill you. That definitely does seem like a messed up thing to say to kids. So that is one of those generational traumas that we hope to break. You have to discipline in the moment regardless. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't do much good to discipline, especially when they're younger and don't have like full understanding, right? It doesn't do much good to discipline after the moment. Like, hey, you remember how you messed up 12 hours ago? Well, now you're getting punished for it. Like that doesn't make sense either. So, luckily, the world is changing, and with work from home, there will no longer be wait till your father gets home, because your father will always be home because we work from home, which is excellent. I had that happen to me many times. I used to talk to something about my mother did. The rest of my friends like, bro, are you good? The world is filled with, and like if you go on Reddit, you'll see a bunch of people. There's like a whole subreddit dealing with like narcissistic parents. The worst part about that, like, was it's not just that they did that, but it's the parents who deny it ever happening. And like you go back and talk to them as an adult and say like, "Hey, mom, remember when you did this super messed up thing?" And it's like, "Nope, that never happened." Nope, you're just making that up. And you're like, "Mom, why would I make this up? It's been 20 years. Why would I? What do I gain from making this up?" And they're just like, "Nope, it's made up." Like, I feel so bad for the people who are dealing with parents like that, who just like refuse to acknowledge that they made any mistakes, refuse to acknowledge that they did any wrong, and it's just a constant, "Nope, it never happened. Nope, you're lying." Mine is so guilty of that. I'm sorry. That is awful. That is a whole next level of awful and frustrating to deal with, people who refuse to acknowledge when they have done wrong. What game is this? This is the new Borderlands 4. Came out about, I want to say 3 weeks ago now. I keep saying, I think it's 3 weeks ago it came out. Mine is outnumbered, so she knows better. And they go, I guess yep, you're exactly right, Bubble. That is the very next thing is if they can't convince you that it didn't happen, then they're going to say, well, then I guess I'm just the worst mother in the world. There's on Reddit, you can find, it's called the Narcissist's Prayer, and it's really, really helpful to know. But it basically goes like, that never happened, and if it did happen, then I'm sure you deserved it, and if you didn't deserve it, well, then you must have done something to deserve it, and if you didn't do anything to deserve it, then it didn't happen. And it goes through this whole list of ways to deny and subtract and subvert. Some people just aren't fit to be parents. Speaking from my own childhood, yeah, but there's no solution to that, right? Because every time we have the conversation of some people aren't fit to be parents, people will come up and say, well, then we should just Sketch, good morning, Sketch. They'll say, well, then we should just have like a test. Well, if you like look at our government administration, I'm going to talk from America's point of view right here. So looking at America right now, do you trust our government to come up with a fair and equitable test to see if someone is ready to be a parent? Absolutely not. The government's going to just find some way to be absolutely awful to people if they have the power to say who can and cannot have children, right? So, like, you can't come up with a test. You can't deny people the right to have kids. Like, there's no solution to it, unfortunately. The only solution is to give tools to adults to fix themselves when they had horrible parents, because anything else will just be horribly abused, and there's just no winning, right? This is Borderlands 4, the new Borderlands that came out 2 or 3 weeks ago. They just announced the next Vault Hunter, by the way. If you haven't seen, they put out a trailer for the next Vault Hunter is going to be Cash. He is a robotic gambler who's going to use playing cards and dice. It's going to be an interesting character, I feel like. Playing cards and dice mechanics. No, this is a full price game. It is $70. It's even more than the regular 60 for a game. This is a full $70 game. It probably will go on sale for Christmas. I'm guessing they'll probably do a minor sale. It probably will be like 20% for Christmas, I'm guessing. But if you need games that are cheap or on sale, Steam is starting their the Steam Autumn Sale, I believe, is starting today, so we should see some pretty healthy and good discounts on Steam games coming out today. This game is very expensive. Even worse, I saw Australia, because I know Australia gets the short end of the stick sometimes on gaming. I saw like the $70 games are like, what, $130 in Australia right now? Like, holy cow. The Australia game market is abysmal. Did I tell you about the Pokemon release? You haven't mentioned anything about Pokemon. What Pokemon release do we have? I do plan on, right now the plan is to take a day off on the day that Pokemon Legends ZA comes out so that we can all play Pokemon Legends ZA together for a while. So there will be a special Waffle stream on the day Pokemon Legends ZA comes out. So do be prepped for that. That is 2 weeks away. A part of me just wants to play the game, but a part of me wonders if we should just like jump right into like a Nuzlocke, be the first Nuzlockers of the game. Do I play other games? Yes, we play all sorts of games here. I'm mostly known for playing Helldivers, but we also do Pokemon Nuzlocks. We occasionally play some puzzle games in here. We play and do all the games here. I'm on duty and someone brings a child and tells me, oh, she's got a fever of 104. I ask since when? She's like, a week. And I look at her and like mouth agape wide open. See, I do understand to a degree. I'm not justifying that behavior, but I also understand like the like you don't want to be the parent who's crying wolf, who's like, oh, my child is at 98.9 degrees, so I need to go to the doctor. My child coughed once, so I need to go to the doctor. Like, I understand you don't want to be that parent who's crying wolf all the time and going to the doctor every other day, but also like, yeah, a week that is far too long to wait. They were doing a shiny Miraidon code giveaway. It was an old school, and you had to go to GameStop code. And they were barely given any stock. Okay, I did hear a little bit about that being just an awful, abysmal experience. And I hate that my first thought was, oh man, you had a bad experience at GameStop? Like, color me surprised. Welcome back, Tyler. Yeah, 104 for a week is definitely an issue. I do understand to a degree the parents who don't want to go running to the doctor every single day, but yeah, 104 is that is too high for too long. You are right about that. We're talking about GameStop did a event where they were giving out shiny Pokemon, and the event went absolutely terrible, which, like I was saying, was no surprise because GameStop has not been a great company for so long, and like the fact that they're not even like you don't even buy games at GameStop anymore, right? People go there to have their Pokemon cards graded, which I've been talking to Emmy so much about that. Like, the Pokemon card craze right now is so ridiculous, and I felt so stupid talking to her about like all the problems that the Pokemon card community is facing. That like real problems, like there is an actual active gang of people who stick air tags in delivery trucks to stalk the Poke vendors so they can buy all the Pokemon cards to scalp them. Like that doesn't sound real for a moment, and yet here we are. That is a real thing that people have to deal with, is the people stalking Pokemon card vendors and buying all the stock so that they can scalp the cards. Like, if you told that sentence to somebody in 1995, they would not believe you for a second. It's so outrageous. I need a gun that is good against shields. I do not have a good anti-shield gun, and I'm feeling it. They didn't even announce the event? No, they can't. They can't announce the event because all the Poke stalkers will ruin it. Like Japan, I know Japan had to stop. They were doing a Pokemon special with Happy Meal toys, and Japan as a whole, like as a country, stopped the event because they saw people were buying hundreds of Happy Meals to collect the Pokemon toys and then throwing away the food. And when they saw the food waste, they said, "Wait a minute, this is horrible food waste. So we're banning this event because we don't want the food waste." Like, I know we've talked about bad fandoms before, but Pokemon is moving firmly into the territory of the worst fandoms in the world because of all the scalpers are ruining Pokemon at such an intensely high level we've never seen before. I miss the old GameStop. Yeah, I miss like EB Games or like Toys R Us. Going to Toys R Us as a kid was so magical, just walking through lines and lines and lines of toys. And one of the things I've talked about that I miss the most in gaming is back before we had all the gaming news we have now. Like, the second a new game is announced, like, hey, a new game will be coming out in 5 years. Be prepared for that. And there's just no mystery anymore, right? You used to walk into the game store and you would see dozens of new games you've never heard of before, and you would just buy them and hope that you got a good game, right? That was such a cool feeling. And now it's like, okay, well, I know this game is coming out in 3 years. I'm going to follow the exact development. I'll know every piece of the game lore and the game history and everything about the game before it even comes out. And while like that's cool to some degree, you're also missing out a little bit on like the specialness of having like the mystery of, oh, I know nothing about this game. I'm just going to pick it up and enjoy it, and whatever happens, happens, you know? I miss mom and pop CD and DVD resellers. I especially miss DVD resellers now because like I was fully on board with the whole who buys DVDs anymore? Like grandpas, like we have streaming, we don't need this. And now that streaming services have been as awful as they are, I want to collect DVDs to create a Plex server so that I can watch the movies I want to watch on demand digitally without having to put them physically in a DVD player. But I have to buy DVDs for that, and now it's hard to find cheap DVDs. So that's frustrating. I want to play this game. It's worth playing through. There's some frustrations. I made a few videos on like some of the problems the game has definitely had. So the game's not perfect, but it is fun. And at the end of the day, I guess that's all that really matters, right? All that really matters is a game fun. I blame companies and make too many companies will spill everything for the sake of popularity. Well, it's capitalism, right? The goal of capitalism is to always make money. They always have to be making money, which means if the game's not coming out for years, they need to hype people up and sell people on it so they can make more money when the game does come out, because it's not enough just to make the same amount of money. You have to make more and more money every single year. It's a whole frustrating... Capitalism sucks. That's the, if you take nothing else away from the stream, that is ultimately the truth of the world, is that capitalism sucks and is ruining the world. Like, I was at the camera store the other day, and they were selling these little Kodak blind box cameras that were super adorable, super cute, and I bought one because all the scalpers have bought all the blind boxes out, and they're reselling them for like $100 for a little garbage toy camera. And it's so frustrating that every single thing that is kind of neat and kind of cool, okay, Tyler, see you next time. Thanks for hanging out this morning. That every time someone comes up with a cool, interesting thing, it instantly becomes scalped, and you have to fight for your life to get it, or you have to pay huge scalper costs to be able to enjoy a funny little thing. So frustrating. What about all the countries that don't have capitalism? They're not great either. It is true that there is no perfect system, right? If people exist, people will find a way to ruin it. So yes, countries without capitalism have their problems as well. There simply exists no perfect country, unfortunately. That is true. It boils down to people are flawed, right? People will find a way to ruin anything. Capitalism is the lesser of the evils. I don't know. That Norwegian Sweden that Swedish socialism sounds great some days. Cheap ER, lots of public health services. You just pay a little bit more in taxes. There are some days that I'm all for that. However, if I have to eat the what is that Norwegian Scandinavian delicacy where they take a shark and they bury it on the beach for like 2 weeks until it rots and ferments, and then they cover it in lye. Whatever that is, that as much as I love strange foods and eat weird foods, that one feels like the limit that I would probably never try that one. That one feels like too much. That's Icelandic, I think. I want to say it's called lutefisk, but I'm pretty sure it's a different. Lutefisk is a different, like, lutefisk is like a Jello fish, which also sounds horrible. Fish flavored Jello sounds absolutely awful. People can barely survive being taxed now. How it increased was so part of the problem. And it's a multifaceted issue, right? There's not one right issue, but like when I worked at Wells Fargo, my healthcare costs was $300 to $400 a month, just to have health insurance, and then it was $500 to use the health insurance. So I never used the health insurance because I had to have health insurance, but I couldn't actually use it because it was too expensive. So like if the taxes were more, but I didn't have to pay $900 a month for doctor stuff, like I think that's a good trade-off. You're thinking of Hakarl. That's the fermented shark. Yeah, that one I don't think I would ever eat. Hakarl definitely feels like one I would not eat. I am sorry to all the Hakarl lovers out there. I don't think I would try that one. Fermented shark. And like the shark trade, like I know China is finally starting to they're finally trying to cut down on like the shark fin soup, which was a delicacy for a while. I think they're finally starting to try and push away from the very harmful shark trade that's caused a lot of like damage to sharks. So I feel like there's a lot of ethical things when it comes to the shark trade as well. So I'm just going to avoid that food altogether. My country wastes taxes anyways. Yeah, that is also true. There are a lot of countries and governments that waste tax dollars a lot, and that's a whole other problem as well. Wasteful and bad governments. Come on, light them on fire. Let's see some fire. Let's get some fire. Ooh, barely made that one. Oh, it's too far away. We just barely made that one. To be honest, I can't eat Sturmschong either, which is Swedish fermented fish. I just can't do fish in general. I could survive on Scandinavian food. As long as I can swallow it, can be digested, I'll eat it. I have tried to become a less picky eater, and I've definitely made progress in being a less picky eater, but fish is just... Seafood is just one of those things that I just don't... I can't get over seafood. Come on, light them on fire, light them on fire. Let's see some fire. So seafood is superior. Pickled herring. I do like pickled things. I do enjoy... I will eat most pickled things. I don't know about pickled herring, but I do like pickled things. pickled mushrooms, pickled radishes, pickled pickles. I super enjoy. There is a pickle company that started making pickle de gallo, which is a pickle based salsa, and that's one of those things I never would have thought would be good. But pickle salsa is incredibly good. Like I wanna make some pickle tacos now. Like I would have never thought in a million years pickled salsa would be good, but pickle tacos is a yes. Oh, that one's far away. This year has completely flown by. It definitely has. We've got less than 90 days to Christmas. That's coming up very soon. Less than 90 days for the Christmas season. So be prepared if you're not already for Christmas music and the Christmas carols and buying gifts and Christmas trees. And I'll tell you one experience. So every year, Emmy and I do the Tree of Giving, where people put down like if they can't afford gifts for their kids, they put down the things that their kids want, and then they ask for strangers to donate it to them so their kid can have a good Christmas. And every year we participate in that because we really believe in that. But last year when we did it, there were a bunch of kids who were asking for things like iPods and iPads and things like that, which I get it. It's Christmas. You're asking for a big gift. I don't have a problem with that. But we went to a different town and looked at their Tree of Giving, and it was a small Catholic community that has some people who are poor in the community. And the difference in the Tree of Giving there, where these kids were asking for like, can you please give me a Winco gift card so that I can afford food for my family, was such a staggering and profound thing to read on someone's Christmas wish list of, I don't want an iPod, I don't want an iPad, I just want you to give me a gift card to the grocery store so that my family can eat for the holidays, was such an experience. I feel so bad for those kids, but I also so much respect that those kids were raised right, that when given the opportunity to get something, they thought of their family and those who were going without first, was such an experience. So we always try and go grab that Tree of Giving to give to those kids, and we try and, here's a gift card to go get food, but also, go get something fun for yourself also. So that is one of our favorite things to do every year, is the Tree of Giving. And I've gone back and forth on this. Ooh, what is this? Ooh, ooh. I've gone back and forth on this, and I'm making a video starting today at the end of the Feast of the Archangels that's going to be about the fast that I did. And it's going to be a video about God, basically. And at the end of that video, or during the shooting of this video, was when Blessed Carlo Acutis was sainted, and we did our special stream where we raised $280 for charity. And typically I don't like taking videos of myself doing charity because that's icky and gross, and I'm not doing it for the praise. But as much as I've gone back and forth on this, I am going to include that, since the money was raised by all of y'all and you are all involved in that stream. We will be doing a short part in that video showing where the $280 that we raised for charity is going. I'm going to be doing a shopping trip, and you'll see all the food that we will be giving to those who need food that was raised by being a part of that stream. So if you were there on that stream, you helped to raise that $280 that will be going to the hungry in my community. So you should all be very, very proud of that. How do I look at the world? Why is it not letting me see? Why is it not letting me see the world? Take it easy, Abyss. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry, I was yapping. There we go. All right, let's turn this mission in, and just in time to end the stream. Let's see what we get for finishing the Ultimate Vault Hunter 2 mission. Have you ever played Slime Rancher before? What did you think about it? I have played both Slime Rancher 1 and 2. I think they're good games. They're a little too cozy, if that makes sense. Like, to me, there's some fun to be had, but they're just too mechanically simple for me, and they don't have like a whole lot to them that I enjoy. But I think that they're good games, so people who enjoy like cozy, casual, fun games, I think will enjoy them. They're not for me, but they're good games. And Slime Rancher 2 actually, I think Slime Rancher 2 officially is exiting early access this week and is officially entering into like fully launched mode now. So if you're interested in Slime Rancher 2, I believe they're doing something special for the official launch of Slime Rancher 2 this week. So perfect timing on that one. I'm really excited. Palworld is trying to make a Pokemon Slime Rancher sort of game. I'm really excited to see what both Pokemon and Palworld do with the Stardew Valley cozy farming simulator genre. I think they're both going to do pretty amazing at that. So I'm excited to see what they do with that. I think it's a perfect game if you're feeling exhausted. It's just something simple to play. For me, that's World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft is my comfort that when I feel like doing nothing else, I go into World of Warcraft and I will do some chores in there. I feel it's hilarious that Palworld is trolling Pokemon. That's exactly what I felt what was happening when they announced that they are making a Pokemon game right after Pokemon. Like, it was 100% directed at them. It had to be. All right, so we should have Ultimate Vault Hunter 2 unlocked now. We do. So let's go test out Ultimate Vault Hunter 2 and see if we can get some stronger guns. The number one place to test this at is on Splash Zone. So let's go kill Splash Zone just a few times to see what the Ultimate Vault Hunter 2 guns look like. Let's see what we get. Come here, Splash Zone. Give me the loot. He's a loot pinata. That's actually on my list of games I really, really, really want to play again. Back in the day, there was this game called Viva Pinata, where you raised adorable little pinatas, and it was such a cute game. And like, it's basically impossible to play in the modern day because like they haven't ported it over to new systems. You can basically only play it on an original Xbox 360 now. But Viva Pinata was one of the most fun games I played back in the day. Ooh, wow, okay. That guy just one-shot me. I really want to play Viva Pinata again. So I hope that we get a modern remake of Viva Pinata. I feel like that was one of the most underrated games on the Xbox. I recently still started getting back into Valheim again. I want to try Valheim, but I'm pretty sure Valheim falls into one of those games. Like, isn't it like an always online multiplayer where if you don't play it 20 hours a day, someone else will come and raid your base and destroy all your hard work? And like, I can't deal with those games. Games like Rust and Ark, like, no, thank you. I can't do it. He keeps giving me this shotgun, and this shotgun is the worst shotgun in the game. I wish he would stop dropping this legendary because it is awful. It's not like that. You can host a personal server. Okay, if you can play it single player and not have to deal with like those online aspects, I will 100 give it a try. I've always wanted to play it, but like I said, I thought it was like Rust where you had to be always online and kids would raid your server and waste all your time and progress. And so I was like, no, never again. I played Rust once, and never again am I going to play a game that punishes me for having a life. All right, Splash Zone, give me some good, sweet guns. What do we got here? Garbage, garbage. Ooh, cryo efficiency, but no damage. The Quacking Crank. Oh, that is electric. Okay, we did say we needed something that takes down shields. Let's grab this for now to break through shields. That is an important thing to have. Oh, what's a legendary doing over here? Domino Industrial Lucian Flank. Trample. Alt fire. Okay, let's give this gun a try. I didn't see this just came out. I just saw that AOL is shutting down its dial-up service tomorrow. The dial-up sound will be no more. Here's the thing, is that, like, there's still, like, 10 or 15% of the population is still on dial-up. Like, dial-up is still used in the world, like landlines. Like, there are still people who need access to dial-up in the world. So, like, I understand why we're moving on as a society, but, like, we still need dial-up in the world. Okay, so we got full auto. Oh, we got double barrel mode. Ooh. Look at that damage and fire speed. That's brutal. Okay, I like this gun. I dig this gun a lot. I still have AOL emails. Which, did you know you can go to like a ooh, cryo efficient. We might need that. Let's grab that. You can go to your phone provider and ask them for a landline, but they will charge you, like, to buy a landline now is like $100 a month surcharge because it's, quote, ancient technology, so they charge you a monthly fee to maintain having like a like if you want a rotary phone, rotary phones cost even more because the rotary phone uses a special technology to still function. So you have to pay, it costs more to have a rotary phone in 2025 than it would ever to have a rotary phone back in the day. So, like, if you want to be a hipster and have, like, ancient technology, you can. You're just going to have to pay a whole lot of money for it. I'll miss yelling at my mom for picking up the phone while my 4-minute song was downloading. What's this? Jelly Grenade, a self-replicating, maximum charge, teleporting electric grenade. Okay, that seems... Oh, we got some good... Okay, we're going to have to try these grenades out. The jelly grenade seems pretty bad. We'll try it out, but those cryo grenades... My character class is cryo, so we need more cryo stuff. We'll try that, but let's try this jelly grenade out and see how well the self-replicating... Okay, that's doing some damage. Not great, but it did some damage. My friend still has a landline over at her house because she has like no service to guarantee she can call people and cannot. Yeah, that's exact. My parents lived in an area that was so remote for a while that we had to have a landline because power would often go out. There was no cell service, and the most internet we could get is 12 kilobit per second dial-up, not megabit, kilobit. Like absolutely horrible dial-up. If you wanted to watch a YouTube video, what you would do is you would click on the YouTube video before you went to bed, and then hopefully in the morning the YouTube video would be finished loading. Like that's how bad the internet was out there, was that you would watch a YouTube video in the morning after it loaded. And yet I don't know how they made this work, but I played World of Warcraft and Warcraft 3 on that internet. On 12 kilobit per second internet, I played with other people in Warcraft 3 online. I have no idea how Blizzard managed to make my horrible internet connection function, but it worked. Woo! Okay, that grenade does some serious damage. but I also blew myself up. So we like that grenade. We're going to keep that. But we're going to have to be a little bit more careful with it because that hurt. What did I just pick up? It had something... Move speed. Ooh, okay. That's pretty good. On use, instantly starts recharging your power shield. That's really good for me. So we're going to grab that because the power shield doesn't regenerate while you're taking damage. So the ability to regenerate it in the middle of combat seems like it could be pretty good. All right, let's try not blowing ourselves up this time. That does some incredible damage. That just soloed the boss. And let's start upping our shield. That's very good. Okay. This, ooh, look at that. Fully automatic. Ooh. With that damage. Okay, let's try this out. These level Ultimate Vault Hunter 2 guns are grossly more powerful than my previous ones. A fully automatic shotgun. Let's try this out with Ripper technology. Okay, that's not doing as much damage as I thought it would. Maybe I was wrong on this. It looked like it was going to be overpowered, but maybe not. That's kind of not the vibe. Know what I mean? All right, what do you got for me this time? Anything good? We got a sniper rifle. Ooh, a sniper corrosive rifle. All right, we don't have a sniper rifle currently equipped. Let's give this a try. Let's give it a try. T-Dog, good morning. The fish is doing a handstand, Mom. The fish is just swimming to the bottom of the tank. I like your kid's creativity. I like the way he thinks. Wow, look at that fully automatic sniper rifle. Look at how fast that shoots. Wow. Boom. All right, give me something good. Ooh. Okay, he listened to me. Entered the Lego raffle. You know, ooh, okay, so this shield is way less, but those missiles do good damage. There are some Christians who will maintain that there is no such thing as luck and that you shouldn't even wish someone luck because luck doesn't exist. I'm not sure where I stand on the debate. I understand that what the thought process they're trying to have is that everything is from God and therefore it's not luck because it is God's doing. So I understand like what they're trying to say, but also I understand that like wishing someone luck has like become colloquial. Like it doesn't necessarily mean that you actually think that you're going to influence. It's just like a nice thing to say to someone. So I'm not sure exactly. It's a common saying. So is it really that big a deal if someone wishes you luck? Like, is it really that big a deal to say if it's a colloquial term that many people use? That's exactly where I'm at on it. But I have seen that debate go on and on and on about whether or not you should wish people luck. Take him down, grenade. What do you got? Okay. We've got nothing. Nothing. Stop shooting me. Ooh. No. No. All right, we're going to pick some of this up to sell. We've gotten some great gear out of this, though. So let's sell some of this garbage because we've been buying a lot of legendaries, so we need to get our funds back up. Take it easy, Jonathan. We're just about ready to end myself here, too. We're just going to sell these items, and we will be back at it on Wednesday. Backpack is full because it's time for me to go get ready for work. But I wanted to test out the Ultimate Vault Hunter 2 mode that we just unlocked and see what cool guns we could get from that. All right, let's sell. Have you played Warframe? Yes, I have played Warframe. I didn't play it when it first came out. And every time I try and play Warframe now, I just feel like it's so overwhelming because there's like so many quests and things to do that like I get stuck. And I really don't like when I did play it through one time. Like the end game, as far as I understand, is you get to max level and then you depower your Warframe and you get like a permanent small upgrade. But then the whole goal is to re-level up the Warframe. And I didn't like that feeling of like dropping all your power down just to raise it back up. It wasn't like a satisfying gameplay loop to me, so I haven't played it a bunch, but I did get through it that one time. This grenade is awesome. If nothing else, we walked away with a great grenade, and we got a shield buster with this shot. Oh, perfect. You were someone I wanted to test this out on. Yes, that does great shield damage. We needed that, and we haven't gotten to test out. Oh, we did test this out. The fire. All right, we got some good gear. I guess it's time to start working on getting to Ultimate Vault Hunter level 3 now. Now that we've upped our gear a little bit, we're almost max level. I guess we will do that next, but hopefully we're going to be playing either Ghost of Yotai is coming out. So hopefully next stream we're either going to be streaming Ghosts of Yotai or the new Final Fantasy Tactics remake. So one of those is coming next. However, I got to go get ready for work. Again, today is a great day. It is the Feast of the Archangels. So if you need a reason to celebrate and feast today, make sure you do that. As always, let's end with our prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Lord, thank you for this blessed day, and thank you for all that you do for us. We pray for the intercession of the archangels today, as it is their feast day. Lord, help to bring about the healing that they bring, the comfort that they bring, and the victory over evil that they bring, the happy news and messages that they bring, and the health that they bring. Lord, today we pray for all those who have no one left to pray for themselves, the people in purgatory, the souls who have been forgotten. Lord, help them. We pray for all the victims of violence. There was a bunch of mass shootings yesterday. There's a war going on in the world. So all the victims of violence, whether it be political, mass shootings, war, whatever it may be, Lord, help all those impacted by violence and bring about an end to the violence. And finally, we pray for those who don't have enough, whether it be food, water, shelter, whatever it is they're lacking. Help us, the brothers and sisters in Christ on earth, to recognize those needs in our community and help those who don't have enough. All this we pray in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. All right, everyone, that does it for me. I am going to go get ready for work. As I said, today is the Feast of the Archangels, so make sure you have a feast today. It is a good day for a feast. We'll be streaming again on Wednesday morning, 5 a.m. Pacific time is when I'll be streaming next. I hope to see you all there. Thank you all for hanging out, and have a blessed day.